we have, as humans, have developed an immune system that's come about over hundreds of thousands of years of evolution. And it's designed to protect us from pathogens, bugs, worms, viruses, all sorts of things. And it does a pretty good job. And we get the occasional cold and whatever. But in general, it clears up and it's done a great job. A consequence of that is that our immune system has to be able to see an enormous number of potential things attacking us. And so there's this game of cat and mouse that our immune system has. What that means is that our immune system is incredibly diverse. It can see all sorts of things. And a consequence of that is sometimes it sees our own tissues. It'll see our own pancreas and we'll get type 1 diabetes. It'll see our own brain tissue and we'll get MS. It'll see our own colon tissue and you'll get inflammatory bowel disease, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's dozens of these. And that happens to somewhere between 5 and 10% of the population. So most people do not have these problems. But a significant number do. It's a small percentage, but it's a significant number. Therefore, the question for us had been, and still is to a large extent, why? Why do some people have this breakdown in their immune recognition so that it sees their own tissues and other people don't? People have been working on this for generations. There was a Nobel Prize in 1960 around the concept of this and showing that this concept is true, but at that point there weren't the tools and the knowledge and the depth to understand how. And so the award that just happened a few months ago was for 3 of us, and one of the recipients was a gentleman in Japan who identified a very small subset of cells in a mouse which controls this. What Mary and I did was identify the gene, Mary the gene, I the function, of the thing that controls those cells. And we know from studies in both mice and humans that if you don't have this gene, you don't have these cells, and if you don't have these cells, you will die. You will die because the immune system attacks your own body. There are other mutations in which you don't have an immune system. You will also die. It's because pathogens attack you. So you have to have both sides of this equation to be healthy. And most of us do, but some of us don't. But the idea is really I hesitate to use the word, but I'm going to say reset the immune system. I don't actually want to reset it to 0. So I don't want to get rid of all your immunity to every virus you've ever seen and everything you've ever been immunized to. But I want to reset it in such a way that it will no longer react to your own tissues.